The introduction to Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki sets the foundational premise for the entire narrative and its lessons on financial education. It begins with Kiyosaki recounting his childhood in Hawaii, where he was raised with conflicting financial advice from two father figures, his biological father, whom he calls Poor Dad, and the father of his best friend, Rich Dad. Poor Dad is a highly educated man who believes in traditional routes to success, earning a steady income from a secure job, while Rich Dad possesses street smarts and a different approach to building wealth. Kiyosaki describes how, from a young age, he was torn between these contrasting perspectives. His poor dad, despite having a good education and a respectable job, always struggled financially. On the other hand, Rich Dad, despite his lack of formal education, was financially successful and savvy. The introduction vividly illustrates the fundamental differences in attitudes toward money and investment between Poor Dad, who emphasizes employment security and conventional success, and Rich Dad, who advocates for financial independence and education. The narrative continues as Kiyosaki shares a pivotal childhood experience. At 9 years old, frustrated by the lack of financial education in school, he and his best friend Mike decide to learn how to become rich. They turn to Mike's father, Rich Dad, who agrees to teach them but warns that he will do so in a non-traditional manner. Rich Dad's unconventional teaching methods, which focus on real-world experiences and understanding how money works, form the basis of the lessons that Kiyosaki shares throughout the book. This early experience marks the beginning of Kiyosaki's journey into understanding and applying financial concepts that diverge significantly from mainstream advice. The introduction sets up the book's primary themes: the importance of financial literacy, the distinction between working for money and having money work for you, and the critical difference between assets and liabilities. Kiyosaki uses the introduction to challenge the reader's preconceived notions about money and to question the conventional wisdom imparted by the educational system and societal expectations. He emphasizes that the lessons from Rich Dad were not about becoming rich for the sake of wealth alone but about seeking financial freedom and the ability to make choices in life unconstrained by financial limitations. The introduction concludes with Kiyosaki reflecting on the impact of his two dads' advice on his life. He notes that while he valued his poor dad's guidance, it was Rich Dad's lessons that ultimately shaped his financial philosophy and success. This reflection sets the stage for the rest of the book, which is structured around the contrasting advice of the two dads and the practical financial lessons Kiyosaki learned from Rich Dad. The introduction to Rich Dad Poor Dad is not just a personal story, it is an invitation to the reader to rethink their financial beliefs and to consider a different path to financial success, one that emphasizes education, smart investment, and financial independence. Chapter 1, The Rich Don't Work for Money, explores the foundational concept that shaped Robert Kiyosaki's approach to wealth and financial independence. This lesson stems from early childhood experiences and pivotal advice from his best friend's father, whom he calls Rich Dad. Contrasting this with the mindset of his biological father, Poor Dad, Kiyosaki delves into the differing ideologies that define the rich and the poor. The chapter begins with a childhood anecdote where a young Kiyosaki, motivated by a desire to understand how to become rich, confronts the stark financial literacy gap in his education. He and his friend Mike decide to learn about money from Mike's father, the Rich Dad. Rich Dad agrees to teach them but warns that he will not do so in the traditional academic manner. Instead, his lessons are based on real-life experiences aimed at changing their mindset about money. Kiyosaki recounts his first lesson, which started with him and Mike working for Rich Dad for extremely low wages. This experience, while initially frustrating, is designed to teach them about the trap of working for money. Kiyosaki learns that the fear of being without money drives people to work for money and that once they receive it, they get caught up in a cycle of spending and working for more. This cycle prevents them from seeking opportunities to let their money work for them, a fundamental practice among the wealthy. Rich Dad emphasizes that working for money provides a sense of security, but it is a false one that leads to a life of financial dependence and limitation. Instead, He advocates learning to manage and invest money in ways that generate passive income, thereby breaking free from the cycle of earning and spending. He teaches that the rich work for learning and for acquiring assets, not for direct income. Throughout the chapter, Kiyosaki discusses the importance of mindset in achieving financial success. He contrasts his poor dad's belief in traditional education and steady employment with rich dad's focus on financial education and entrepreneurial risk-taking. This difference in perspectives highlights the chapter's central theme: to become truly wealthy, one must shift from a mentality of working for money to one of having money work for them. The chapter concludes with Kiyosaki reflecting on the impact of Rich Dad's lessons. He realizes that breaking free from the conventional rat race requires a fundamental change in how one views and interacts with money. It's not the pursuit of money itself that should drive individuals, but the pursuit of financial intelligence and freedom. Through personal anecdotes and practical advice, Kiyosaki lays the groundwork for the rest of the book, advocating for a paradigm shift in financial thinking from early on. He urges readers to seek financial knowledge and experiences that challenge conventional wisdom, thereby setting the stage for a life of wealth and financial independence. Chapter 2, Why Teach Financial Literacy, delves into the critical importance of financial education, a concept largely overlooked in traditional schooling. Robert Kiyosaki uses this chapter to contrast the differing approaches to money management taught to him by his poor dad and his rich dad, emphasizing how their teachings shaped his understanding of wealth and financial security. Kiyosaki begins by reflecting on the conventional wisdom imparted by his poor dad, which revolved around saving money, working hard, and securing a good job with benefits. This approach, Kiyosaki argues, may lead to a stable life but not necessarily to financial freedom or wealth. He illustrates that this path often results in a cycle of earning to spend, which traps individuals in a continuous loop of financial dependency without substantial asset accumulation. In stark contrast, Rich Dad's philosophy centers on the acquisition of assets, investments that generate ongoing income or appreciate over time. Kiyosaki emphasizes that financial literacy is not about how much money one makes but about how much money one keeps and how hard that money works. This distinction is crucial in understanding why some people amass wealth while others struggle financially despite high earnings. The chapter further explores the concept of assets versus liabilities. Kiyosaki clarifies a common misconception: a house is not always an asset but can be a liability if its costs drain the owner's resources without providing income. He stresses that true assets put money in your pocket, such as real estate investments, stocks, bonds, and intellectual properties. The key to financial independence, he argues, lies in increasing assets while minimizing liabilities. Kiyosaki recounts how his rich dad taught him these concepts through practical experiences and games like Monopoly, illustrating how simple principles can lead to significant financial insights. He discusses the importance of understanding financial statements, distinguishing between income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. This knowledge, Kiyosaki posits, is foundational to developing the financial acumen necessary for making informed investment decisions. The author criticizes the traditional education system for its lack of practical financial education, arguing that it leaves many ill-prepared for the financial realities of adult life. He calls for a paradigm shift in educational priorities, advocating for the inclusion of financial literacy in school curriculums to empower future generations with the knowledge to build and maintain wealth. Kiyosaki concludes the chapter by reiterating the importance of financial education in achieving financial freedom. He urges readers to invest in their financial education, to learn the difference between assets and liabilities, and to start thinking like the rich. This shift in mindset, he argues, is essential for breaking out of the rat race and building a life of wealth and financial security. By the end of Chapter 2, Kiyosaki has laid out a compelling argument for why financial literacy is crucial and how it can dramatically alter one's financial destiny, challenging readers to rethink their approach to money and investing. Chapter 3, Mind Your Own Business, emphasizes the critical distinction between being professionally successful and being financially independent. Robert Kiyosaki illustrates through personal experiences and lessons from his rich dad the importance of focusing on acquiring assets rather than solely working for a paycheck. He delves into the concept that your profession can make you a living, but your business is what makes you wealthy. Kiyosaki starts by explaining that for most people, their profession is their income, but their true business lies in their asset column, not their job. He clarifies that an asset is something that puts money in your pocket, such as investments, real estate, royalties, and other income-generating ventures. Conversely, liabilities take money out of your pocket. The author argues that to achieve financial independence, one must accumulate a substantial asset column that generates more than enough to cover expenses without depending on a traditional job. The narrative stresses the idea that individuals should mind their own business, meaning they should focus on building and managing their asset portfolio rather than remaining exclusively focused on their day-to-day job and immediate income. Kiyosaki reflects on how his rich dad encouraged him to build and acquire assets from a young age, teaching him the difference between working for money and having money work for him. Throughout the chapter, Kiyosaki discusses the common mistakes people make, such as confusing their profession with their business and failing to understand the true nature of assets and liabilities. He points out that many individuals spend their lives buying liabilities they mistake for assets, such as expensive homes and cars, which only serve to increase their expenses and keep them trapped in the cycle of working for money. Kiyosaki also touches on the psychological aspects that prevent people from starting their own business or investing in assets. He identifies fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance as the primary obstacles to financial success. He argues that overcoming these mental barriers is essential to start minding your own business and focusing on building wealth. The chapter is filled with practical advice and strategies for individuals looking to shift their focus from earning an income to building an asset portfolio. Kiyosaki encourages readers to start small, educate themselves about investing and business, and to gradually shift their efforts and resources towards assets that generate passive income. In conclusion, Mind Your Own Business serves as a wake-up call for individuals stuck in the rat race, urging them to take control of their financial future by focusing on building assets rather than working for a salary. Kiyosaki emphasizes that minding your own business is not about neglecting your professional responsibilities, but about expanding your financial intelligence and working towards the ultimate goal of financial freedom. Chapter 4, The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations, delves into the evolution of the tax system and how corporations are utilized to create and protect wealth. Robert Kiyosaki begins by providing a historical overview of taxes, initially introduced to fund wars, and explains how they have become a permanent fixture affecting the financial lives of individuals. He illustrates how the tax system is designed in such a way that it disproportionately affects employees and the self-employed, who are taxed more heavily compared to corporations and investors. Kiyosaki shares insights from his rich dad about the strategic use of corporations as vehicles to protect and enhance personal wealth. He explains that corporations, favored by the rich, offer significant tax advantages and protections not available to individuals. For example, corporations can earn, spend, and then pay taxes on what's left, a sequence that contrasts sharply with individuals who earn, pay taxes, and then spend what's left. This difference fundamentally shifts how money can be accumulated and grown. The chapter emphasizes the importance of financial education in understanding and leveraging the benefits of corporate structures for asset protection and tax planning. Kiyosaki argues that without this knowledge, individuals are likely to remain stuck in a cycle of high taxes and financial vulnerability. He illustrates this point by detailing how the rich use legal and financial advisors to navigate tax laws and maximize their wealth, something he suggests everyone should consider, regardless of their current financial standing. Kiyosaki also addresses common misconceptions about money and taxes. He challenges the reader to shift their mindset from seeing taxes as an inevitable burden to viewing them as something that can be managed and minimized through smart financial planning and corporate structures. He underscores the point that understanding and applying tax laws can significantly impact one's ability to build and sustain wealth. Further, the chapter discusses the psychological barriers that prevent the average person from utilizing corporate structures to their benefit. Kiyosaki points out that fear, ignorance, and laziness keep many from learning about and taking advantage of the financial strategies used by the wealthy. He encourages readers to overcome these barriers by committing to lifelong financial education and seeking out knowledgeable mentors and advisors. In The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations, Kiyosaki provides a call to action for readers to educate themselves about the tax advantages of corporations and to use this knowledge to enhance their financial positions. He stresses that while setting up and managing a corporation may seem daunting, the financial benefits are too significant to ignore, especially for those seeking to escape the rat race and build lasting wealth. The chapter concludes with Kiyosaki reiterating the critical role of education in financial success. He argues that by understanding the history of taxes and learning how to use corporations effectively, individuals can take control of their financial futures and create a legacy of wealth and security. Chapter 5, The Rich Invent Money, delves into the innovative mindset that separates the financially successful from the rest. This section emphasizes the idea that while the majority of people may wait for opportunities or financial stability to come their way, the wealthy actively create opportunities and invent new ways to generate money. The chapter is a testament to the power of financial intelligence, creativity, and the courage to act when others are hesitant. The narrative begins by challenging the conventional mindset that investment opportunities are scarce and that significant capital is required to generate wealth. Instead, the author illustrates through personal experiences and lessons learned from his rich dad that being financially inventive involves seeing possibilities where others see none and understanding that money is a tool that can be multiplied through smart strategies, not merely a resource to be saved or spent. Kiyosaki discusses the importance of financial education in developing the ability to invent money. He stresses that a solid foundation in understanding financial statements, investment strategies, and market conditions is crucial. This knowledge, combined with a fearless approach to seizing opportunities, enables individuals to create wealth in ways that are not tied to the traditional earning-spending-saving cycle. The chapter further explores the concept of making money work for you, rather than working for money. Kiyosaki shares insights into how adopting a different perspective towards assets and investments can lead to significant financial gains. He highlights real estate and stock investments as examples where the rich leverage their knowledge and analytical skills to spot trends, buy undervalued assets, and sell them for a profit. Furthermore, The Rich Invent Money underscores the significance of risk management and the ability to learn from failures. Kiyosaki recounts instances where he faced losses and made mistakes but viewed them as valuable learning experiences rather than setbacks. He advocates for a mindset shift from fearing failure to embracing it as part of the learning and growth process in financial education. The chapter also addresses the psychological barriers that prevent most people from becoming wealthy, such as fear, cynicism, and complacency. Kiyosaki encourages readers to break free from these constraints by continuously seeking knowledge, staying open to new ideas, and being prepared to act decisively when opportunities arise. In essence, this chapter is a call to action for individuals to cultivate a proactive and innovative approach to their finances. It encourages readers to expand their financial knowledge, to look beyond conventional wisdom, and to develop the courage to create and seize opportunities. By doing so, Kiyosaki asserts that anyone can move beyond the limitations of a paycheck-to-paycheck existence and step into the realm of financial freedom and wealth creation. Chapter 6, titled Work to Learn Don't Work for Money, revolves around the concept that the primary goal of work should not be the paycheck at the end of the month but the skills and knowledge acquired along the way. This chapter challenges the conventional wisdom of job security and a steady income as the ultimate career objectives. Instead, it promotes a broader perspective on employment as a means to develop a diverse set of skills, particularly in areas that enhance financial intelligence and independence. The narrative begins by emphasizing the importance of lifelong learning and adaptability in the ever-changing job market. The author recounts personal experiences and lessons from his rich dad, who advised him to view jobs as opportunities to learn rather than just sources of income. According to Rich Dad, the most valuable assets are education and experience, particularly in fields that most people find challenging or intimidating, such as sales, marketing, communication, and management. The chapter delves into the idea that in the real world, it's not just the smartest who get ahead, but the bold and educated. The author stresses that real-world education, which involves understanding and managing different aspects of a business, is crucial. This includes areas like accounting, investing, marketing, and law, which are essential for making informed business decisions and ultimately for achieving financial freedom. Kiyosaki discusses the concept of minding your own business, which he interprets not as neglecting your professional duties but as focusing on developing your personal asset column. This involves investing in oneself through continuous learning and skill acquisition, which in turn can lead to better opportunities for creating and accumulating wealth. Furthermore, the chapter underscores the value of diverse experiences and the willingness to step out of one's comfort zone. Kiyosaki reflects on his own career path, where he took on jobs and roles that were outside his areas of expertise. This strategy allowed him to acquire a broad range of skills and insights, which he could later apply in his entrepreneurial ventures. Work to Learn Don't Work for Money also addresses the common fear of losing a job and the societal stigma associated with career changes and job hopping. Kiyosaki challenges these fears by advocating for a mindset shift towards viewing career changes as opportunities for growth and learning. He encourages readers to prioritize learning over earning in the short term, as this approach can lead to greater financial success in the long term. In conclusion, this chapter is a call to rethink the traditional approach to work and career development. It encourages individuals to adopt a learner's mindset, to embrace change and challenges as opportunities for growth, and to focus on acquiring skills that will enable them to be more financially savvy and independent. By doing so, Kiyosaki suggests that individuals can escape the rat race and take control of their financial future. Chapter 7, Overcoming Obstacles, addresses the primary hindrances that keep individuals from achieving financial independence and wealth. This chapter is integral to understanding the psychological and emotional barriers that can prevent people from implementing the financial principles discussed earlier in the text. The author identifies 5 main obstacles: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance, and provides insights into overcoming each of these barriers to achieve financial success. Firstly, the chapter delves into the concept of fear, particularly the fear of losing money. This is described as the single most significant barrier to financial growth. The author explains that while everyone has the fear of losing money, the rich manage it differently. Instead of allowing fear to paralyze them, successful individuals acknowledge it and manage their risk intelligently. They educate themselves, make informed decisions, and learn from their mistakes, which helps them overcome the paralysis that fear can create. Next, cynicism is discussed as another significant obstacle. The author describes cynicism as a self-defense mechanism that shields individuals from disappointment but also prevents them from taking necessary risks to grow their wealth. He suggests combating cynicism with research and due diligence, encouraging individuals to differentiate between unfounded fears and legitimate concerns by gathering information and seeking advice from knowledgeable sources. Laziness is the third obstacle addressed in the chapter. The author provocatively suggests that laziness often manifests as staying busy with non-essential tasks to avoid dealing with our fears and stepping out of our comfort zones. He recommends developing a strong desire or reason why that surpasses the inertia of laziness, propelling individuals towards their financial goals. Bad habits, particularly in relation to spending and managing money, are identified as the fourth barrier. The author emphasizes the importance of paying oneself first, a principle that encourages individuals to invest in their future financial well-being before paying their bills and indulgences. This habit, he argues, forces people to be more resourceful and committed to their financial growth. Lastly, arrogance is identified as a critical obstacle. Here, arrogance is defined as pretending to know everything in order to avoid appearing ignorant or vulnerable. The author suggests that this attitude prevents people from learning and growing financially. He advocates for humility and the willingness to learn from others as essential qualities for overcoming arrogance and advancing one's financial knowledge and capabilities. Throughout the chapter, the author intertwines personal anecdotes and lessons from his rich dad to illustrate how each of these obstacles can be overcome. By sharing these insights, he aims to equip readers with the mental and emotional tools necessary to confront and conquer the internal barriers that stand between them and financial freedom. In conclusion, Overcoming Obstacles serves as a comprehensive guide to identifying and overcoming the personal attitudes and behaviors that hinder financial success. The author's approach is not just informative but also motivational, encouraging readers to confront their fears, reject cynicism, overcome laziness, break bad habits, and shed arrogance to achieve their financial goals. Chapter 8, Getting Started, serves as a practical guide for readers on how to embark on their journey towards financial independence and wealth. This section is designed to transition the conceptual and mindset shifts discussed in previous chapters into actionable steps. The author outlines several strategies and principles that individuals can adopt to cultivate their financial acumen and begin building their wealth. The chapter begins by stressing the importance of starting one's financial education. The author urges readers to break free from procrastination and the paralysis of analysis, emphasizing that the first step is often the hardest but most crucial. He encourages taking small, manageable steps towards financial literacy, such as reading books, attending seminars, and seeking mentors who can provide guidance and inspiration. One of the key points highlighted in this chapter is the power of self-assessment and setting clear, achievable goals. The author advises readers to conduct an honest evaluation of their financial status and to set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART, goals. By understanding where they currently stand financially and where they want to be, individuals can create a focused and effective plan for moving forward. The author also emphasizes the significance of choosing one's friends and associates wisely. He explains how surrounding oneself with like-minded individuals who share similar financial goals and values can provide motivation, support, and opportunities for learning and growth. He warns against spending too much time with pessimistic or non-ambitious people who might discourage or distract from one's financial objectives. Furthermore, the chapter discusses the importance of learning to make money work for you. The author revisits the concept of acquiring assets that generate passive income, urging readers to invest in their financial education to be able to identify and capitalize on investment opportunities. He suggests starting small with investments and gradually increasing the stakes as one's knowledge and confidence grow. Another critical aspect covered in this chapter is the value of giving back. The author believes that generosity and a willingness to teach others can enrich one's own life and foster a positive and abundant mindset. He shares that sharing knowledge and resources can lead to unexpected returns and help cultivate a network of supportive and like-minded individuals. Getting Started also addresses the need for resilience and perseverance. The author acknowledges that the path to financial independence is not linear and is often fraught with challenges and setbacks. He encourages readers to view failures as learning opportunities and to persistently pursue their financial goals despite obstacles. In summary, this chapter is a call to action, urging readers to apply the principles learned from the book and to start taking concrete steps towards financial freedom. It provides a roadmap for initiating one's journey in financial education, setting goals, seeking mentorship, making informed decisions, and persistently working towards financial success and independence. Chapter 9, Still Want More? Here are some to-dos, acts as a concluding guide and motivational booster for readers aspiring to elevate their financial status and intelligence. This final chapter synthesizes the lessons and principles discussed throughout the previous chapters, providing a concrete list of actions and strategies for readers to implement in their journey towards financial independence and wealth building. The chapter begins by reinforcing the importance of a proactive attitude towards financial education. The author encourages readers to continue their learning journey by reading extensively, not just about finance but also about human psychology, business, and personal development. He suggests that a well-rounded education forms the backbone of financial intelligence and success. A significant portion of this chapter is dedicated to the practical steps individuals can take to apply the lessons learned. This includes starting by assessing one's personal finances thoroughly to understand where one stands in terms of assets and liabilities. The author emphasizes the importance of creating a clear financial statement as a starting point for any financial plan. Next, the chapter outlines the necessity of setting specific, long-term financial goals. The author encourages readers to write down their dreams and aspirations, which can serve as powerful motivators for financial growth. He also stresses the importance of creating a detailed plan to achieve these goals, breaking them down into achievable steps. The author suggests increasing one's financial IQ through continuous education and hands-on experiences. He recommends attending workshops, seminars, and other educational events focused on finance and investing. Additionally, he advocates for finding mentors who can provide guidance, share experiences, and offer advice on navigating the financial world. An essential part of the chapter is dedicated to making real-life applications of the concepts discussed. The author urges readers to start investing, even if it's with a small amount, to gain practical experience. He discusses different investment vehicles, such as real estate, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, highlighting the importance of diversification and understanding each investment's risks and benefits. Furthermore, the chapter advises on developing communication and negotiation skills, which are crucial in business and investing. The author believes that being able to effectively communicate and negotiate can significantly impact one's financial success. The author also touches upon the psychological aspect, encouraging readers to overcome fear, procrastination, and other mental barriers that can hinder action. He emphasizes the need for self-discipline, resilience, and a positive mindset in achieving financial goals. Finally, the chapter concludes with a call to give back to the community once one has achieved a certain level of financial success. The author highlights that true wealth comes not just from financial accumulation but also from the ability to positively impact others' lives. In summary, this chapter serves as a practical and motivational guide for readers to apply the principles of financial wisdom and to take definitive steps towards achieving their financial aspirations. It encapsulates the essence of proactive financial growth and continuous personal development. The conclusion section titled, Final Thoughts, serves as a reflective and motivational closing to the preceding chapters, encapsulating the core messages and urging readers to take decisive action toward financial independence. In this concluding chapter, the author revisits the central themes of the narrative, emphasizing the distinction between the financial philosophies of his rich dad and poor dad and the impact of these differing viewpoints on his own life and success. The chapter begins with a recapitulation of the key lessons imparted by the rich dad, focusing on the importance of financial education, the distinction between assets and liabilities, and the imperative to let money work for you rather than working for money. It highlights the author's journey from confusion and frustration about money to clarity, confidence, and financial freedom, illustrating the transformative power of the lessons shared throughout the narrative. Final Thoughts reiterates the significance of mindset in achieving financial success. The author stresses that changing one's financial outlook and practices requires a shift in mentality from that of a victim to that of a victor. He encourages readers to challenge their preconceived notions about money, to question the status quo, and to take control of their financial destinies rather than resigning themselves to the fate of the financially uninformed masses. Furthermore, the chapter emphasizes the value of action over inaction. The author reflects on the common fears and excuses that prevent individuals from starting their journey toward financial literacy and independence. He dispels the notion that there is a right time to begin and asserts that the journey starts with a single step, urging readers to move from passive contemplation to active participation in their financial growth. The author also addresses the role of mentors and role models in the journey to financial independence. He underscores the importance of seeking guidance from those who have successfully navigated the path to wealth and learning from their experiences and mistakes. He suggests that readers find their own rich dad figures, mentors who can provide wisdom, support, and encouragement as they embark on their financial journeys. In addition to advocating for self-education and mentorship, Final Thoughts stresses the importance of giving back and sharing knowledge. The author believes that true wealth comes not only from financial success but also from the ability to help others achieve their financial goals. He encourages readers to become financial educators in their own right, spreading the principles of financial independence and empowerment to others. The conclusion wraps up with a call to action, inspiring readers to apply the lessons learned, to embark on their paths to financial literacy and freedom, and to transform their lives and the lives of those around them. The author leaves readers with a sense of urgency and possibility, reinforcing the idea that financial freedom is attainable for those who are willing to learn, to change, and to take consistent, determined steps toward their goals.